We have these headlines telling us that he's left the coalition. The coalition has collapsed then. So what's the latest detail?
So once again, the perennial issue in Dutch politics is this issue of migration. It's what triggered an election not too long ago that ousted Mark Rutte and then put the Freedom Party by Geert Wilders party into government after many months of coalition building. And this is a government that has stood now for less than 1 year, 11 months before it's collapsed to be brought down again once more by this issue of immigration. What precipitated this was last week Geert Wilders put forward a 10-point plan on immigration. These points included using the military basically to guard the land borders of the Netherlands, turning away all asylum seekers, temporarily halting family reunification, also sending Syrians back to Syria, which he considers now a safe place for refugees and other migrants to be sent back. He said that if the majority of these 10 points are not agreed to by the government, yesterday he threatened to pull out of the government, and today, just a few minutes ago on X, we have him saying no signature for our asylum plans, no changes to the main outline agreement. PVV, the Freedom Party, leaves the coalition, and that is how we got the news this morning of the collapse now of the Dutch government. The next steps will be likely another election that will have to be called in the Netherlands. That was supposed to happen sort of by the term limit in 2027. That, of course, has now been accelerated with the fall of the government.
So, Wally, what are the implications then for the rest of Europe and the Netherlands' position in Europe after this?
Yeah, so very interestingly, I mean, listen, we just had an election in Poland in which you had basically this liberalizing force of Prime Minister Donald Tusk elected 2 years ago, trying to get his agenda through. It had basically been blocked by the former president and will continue to be blocked by the next president. And when you think about this from the sort of European and the perspective in Brussels, who is currently waging trade warfare with the United States, trying to show a sort of sign of solidarity, political stability, pro-EU, that is definitely not the sort of context that we get over the last 24 hours. In Poland, you basically have Donald Tusk, the pro-European, hamstrung in terms of getting his agenda through. In the Netherlands, which is going to host, by the way, in just 3 weeks' time in The Hague, a big NATO meeting that will be attended by Donald Trump, where all of these NATO countries are basically seemingly auditioning for continued participation of the United States. You want to project strength, you want to project stability, and that is not something you're going to be able to do, particularly when your host country's government just collapsed with many of the same themes that you've seen in the political disagreement in the United States and many of the sort of MAGA themes running in Dutch politics, in Polish politics, and of course politics in Germany, France, and elsewhere.